Hi everyone, it's Mandy and thanks so much for joining me for another process video. Today I'm creating a traveller's notebook spread and this is for the Vicki Boutin design team. And I wanted to have a bit of a think about how I could include some mixed media into my traveller's notebook inserts. Now, I know that there are some inserts available that are specifically designed for mixed media. I believe that there's a Prima one, and I know that Diane Reevely has just released her dialogue line, which is traveller's notebook inserts that have the mixed media paper in them so that you can do your mixed media in the inserts. But so I wanted to, because I don't have either of those, and you know there's probably others available as well that I'm not aware of, but because I don't have any of those inserts that have the mixed media paper, I thought about how I could include some mixed media just into my regular inserts without having to worry about the wet mediums bleeding through the paper or warping the paper and that sort of thing. And so I pulled out my Vicki Boutin goodies, and when I spotted these watercolour stickers, I thought that would be perfect. You know, it allows me to still be able to have some fun with my mixed media goodies and get a little bit messy without having to worry about how the mediums are going to affect the paper, because I'm going to do all of my mixed media onto these stickers and then I'm going to use them as embellishments in my traveller's notebook insert. So I still get to have fun playing with, you know, all of my mixed media goodies, but I don't have to worry about how it's going to affect the paper and that sort of thing. So what I'm doing is just painting the flowers on these sticker sheets using the art crayons. And, you know, the more I use these art crayons, the more I love them. There's just so much you can do with them. So I'm just using them like I would watercolours. So I'm just scribbling them onto a piece of acetate. And then I'm using my water brush to add some water to them. And that turns them into like a watercolour paint. And so if you want a more vibrant colour, you just make sure you add more of the art crayon. If you want a lighter colour, you add more water. So, you know, you have control over the vibrancy of the colour as well, because I wanted to be able to have, you know, a darker colour in the centre of the flowers, fading out to a lighter colour around the edge of the petals. And so you can see that's what I'm doing. I'm sort of painting it with the lighter colour first and then coming in with a darker colour in the middle there. And so you can see my photo there, and that's what I'm sort of drawing inspiration for the colours that I want to use on my page, because my youngest daughter Eleanor, she's wearing a dress with some bright pink flowers on it, so I knew I wanted to bring that bright pink in. My eldest daughter Abby is wearing a top with that has like a light aqua colour on it, and so I know I'm going to want to bring in that aqua as well. And then I thought for a third colour that I would use some orange, because I really like how, you know, that colour palette with the pink and the aqua and the orange, it's really bright and vibrant and fun, which is what I sort of wanted for this page. And yeah, so I'm loving how these are turning out. I'm just sort of, you know, painting the flowers for the moment, because I know I definitely want to use the flowers, but it was so relaxing. I could have done this all day. If I had had the time, I would have kept going, you know. And this is also a really easy way of, you know, including some mixed media onto your, whether it's your traveller's notebook inserts or whether it's your layouts. If you want to add some mixed media in a more controlled way, this is a great way of doing it. It allows you to be able to have a play with the art crayons and see how they work, but have a little bit more control over them. You know, you don't have to use them to create a background. You know, you can use them however works for you, and if this is the way that it works, then that's great, because, you know, this was fun. I really enjoyed this. It was really relaxing, and you can mix the colors together. As you can see there, I created that aqua color by mixing the green and the blue together, and you just kind of, you know, at first when I made that colour, it was a bit too green, so I added a bit more blue to it. You just sort of keep adding colour until you're happy with how it looks. So, you know, there's an endless possibility of colours that you can create with these. They're fantastic. I love them so much. Yeah, so, you know, if you're either new to mixed media or a bit, you know, hesitant to, you know, just get really messy and create a messy background or whatever, but you still want to be able to have a bit of a play, try using these watercolor stickers, because, you know, this is a great way of adding your mixed media to your layouts or to your traveler's notebook inserts without it getting too messy. It's a bit more controlled, but still so much fun. Okay, so as you can see there, I've got my pink and my orange and my aqua flowers. Now I'm ready to paint my leaves, and so I've pulled out a few different greens. And as you can see there, I'm just cleaning my brush. I'm using the same, I've got two brushes there, two different sizes, sort of a small one and then one that has an even smaller brush tip on it for the finer details. But I'm just cleaning it on some paper towel in between changing colours. So if you just sort of squeeze a little bit of water out onto the paper towel until it sort of runs clear and brush it onto the paper towel, that's sort of, that was a tip that I got from Vicki, and it's sort of the easiest way to clean it while you're sort of still creating and on the go and you don't want to, you know, have to get up. If you just have a bit of paper towel there to clean it in between changing colours, that was a really easy way of doing that. Okay, so I've got my stickers all done, and what I'm going to do now is just use my EK Success powder tool just to take the adhesive off the back of the stickers, because I want to be able to use them like die cuts. I want to be able to move them around the page a bit before I decide on where I want to stick them down. So I've got them there ready to go now. And so now I am going to match my photo with some patterned papers from the All the Good Things collection. And so I've decided on that black scripty paper. I've used that a lot. I think I used that on nearly all of my Vicki Boutin projects. I love that paper. And then I'm also going to use that aqua coloured paper, because that works perfectly with that aqua colour that I've painted the flowers with as well. And then I was also going to use that purplish blue patterned paper, but I end up not using that one simply because I didn't have enough room. As you can see, the size that I printed the photo, it takes up that whole width-wise, the whole right-hand page, and so I didn't sort of have enough room to add another patterned paper behind. But I'm happy with how that looks, and I've just sort of arranged them. I'm not sort of lining up the papers behind. I want it to sort of look a little bit messy. Okay, so now I'm going to bring in my flowers, and so I'm going to create a little cluster there on the left-hand page down the bottom, and then I'm sort of going to have them arranged going diagonally up the page, so from that bottom left-hand corner up to the top right-hand corner, as you can see there. And I love how they look. I love the pop of colour that they bring to the page, you know, and I love that you can customise them whatever colour you want. I was really happy with how they turned out, and I love how they look on this page. So now I'm pulling out some embellishments from the All the Good Things collection, and that is the die cut frames pack. And I pulled out a few bits and pieces, but I think the only thing I end up using is that title there that says Note. And that was perfect for using in my traveler's notebook, because I do try to, rather than using, you know, a chipboard title or a foam title, I try to use things that are a little bit more flat in my traveler's notebooks, because of how bulky they get. You know, I'm only halfway through this insert and already it's getting really thick, really bulky, and it gets hard to work in if it gets, you know, too bulky. So I do try to use sort of stickers and die cuts and that sort of thing if I can. You know, I will sometimes use some chipboard or that sort of thing as well, but I try to make sure that I don't use too many bulky embellishments in my inserts, just so that it doesn't get ridiculously fat and bulky and hard to work in. So that was perfect for a title for this page, and I love how it looks just nestled in there into the flowers. I think that looks really pretty, and it also fit perfectly width-wise across the page as well. So now I'm happy with how this is looking, and so I'm starting to stick some things down. I won't make you sit through me sticking everything down because I know that that can get a bit tedious, but I'm just using my tape runner to get all these bits and pieces stuck down, and I'm sort of, you know, tucking some things in behind the photo, some things in on top, and I'm liking how this is looking. I do end up adding a little bit of glue behind these because the tape runner wasn't sticking them down overly well, but I do that off camera. But yeah, I'm happy with how that's looking. So now I have all of that stuck down. And now, you know, I really don't want to add too much else to the page. I'm really happy with, you know, those flowers, and I wanted them to be the main focus of the page. So I'm really just going to bring in just a few little embellishments now just to add those little details to the page. And I found this sticker on the little word sticker sticker sheet, and it was perfect. The colours on it were perfect for this page, and I think it says something about see the beauty in the everyday, which, you know, it was absolutely perfect for this photo. It was just an everyday photo, but, you know, they're the sort of things that you need to appreciate, those everyday moments. And so that was perfect. And I cut it in half just because I wanted to add it there, sort of above there, and it just fit nicely above the title if I cut it in half like that. And then I added a few enamel dots to the page, and now I'm just adding my journaling at the bottom right hand side there. So I'm just using my T-square ruler to draw a few lines, and I will write my journaling in there. And then the very last thing I will do after that is off camera I end up coming back and adding a doodly border around the whole outside edge of the page. And then that will be it. So thank you so much, guys, for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave me any comments or questions, and I hope to see you soon. I will be back with another video very soon, and I will see you then. Bye for now.